Well, welcome to the second week of the Whitetail Obsession here in southwest Wisconsin. Things are progressing pretty fast here. We're almost a week away. Well, probably it's less than a week away now from season.
Exactly. We're only 6 days from the season here in Wisconsin. We're real excited about that,
yeah.
Obviously. Everybody's getting excited about hunting, but we're going to show you guys some of the stuff that we do, or some of the things we've been having go on, some transition stuff that the deer are changing the way they're eating, where they're eating, and stuff like that. But we're going to start off with Desotell and Chris Straight.
Yeah, they're going down to Kentucky. It's kind of a first-time hunt for Jeff. Chris isn't actually going to hunt with them, but he goes down and he gives them a hand. I mean, Jeff needs as much help as he could probably get.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. They're actually checking out a new property that we have permission to hunt down there. It's northern Kentucky. They got a bunch of does and stuff on camera. One of our good friends down there is actually Alan from Bethke, is actually helping them out and got them this property to hunt. And they're going to go down, set some stands, talk about why they're hunting, where they're going to hunt. And obviously this past weekend they were there and they hunted. We'll show you guys that on the next episode.
Yeah, and then after that we come into some velvet footage from Karl and Brian. And Karl had some great opportunities, seen some good deer, so.
Yeah, a couple different places we go. One of the spots Jesse and I have. Checked out a couple deer there, a couple really nice bucks, and then one of the other properties I've been hunting for years, some pretty good bachelor groups in there. And then one individual buck Brian has on film. It's from a long ways away. You guys will be able to get the gist of how big he is.
Yep.
He's a lot like the buck that Wesley shot last year in late October.
Yeah, a real nice 8-pointer, good tine, probably 10 to 11-inch G2s, maybe a little bit bigger. So yeah, that's something you're going to want to take a peek at.
And then after that, we're going to do some stuff with Jesse, talk about his food plots. You can see one of them behind us is coming up really nice.
Yeah, I've done a lot of work here at the house, and we're going to go into just, on my little 5 acres here, the things I do to try and micromanage to get the deer in here. Obviously, it's right by my house, which you'll see here in a little bit. And then lastly, we have a review on a bow sight from Frank Zimbeck.
Yeah, it's the Covert Apex sight. It's a dovetail sight that we'll be using, we'll be hunting. A lot of the guys on the staff will be hunting with this year. You guys get a chance, be sure to check this sight out, but it's just a little bit of a how-to, and this is how it works, and describe the product to you, and maybe it's something you guys want to use on your equipment. So sit back and relax.
And thanks for watching the Whitetail Obsession.
How's it going, Jeff? Driving into Kentucky, try to get our property in order, check them out, trail cameras, the food plots are going good. Going to be hoping to get a velvet buck in September 3rd rolls around for early season in Kentucky. Wisconsin season won't open, so it'll work out nice. Got potential for a 12-pointer supposedly. I'm going to go down and see if we can't find him. Put my sights on him this fall. Stay tuned, see what we can find. Never a good thing. Just lost the rear drive shaft. That's not supposed to look like that. Well, we blew a dry shaft, universal joint on the interstate. We limped it to O'Reilly's Auto Parts here in Seymour, Indiana. They were an excellent help. They went above and beyond what they should be doing as far as what their job description is to help me get my truck fixed. We worked on it in the parking lot. And we are back up and running. We're going to do a little test run and see where we're at.
Turn left.
Oh, welcome to Traveling Supli here. We are in Kentucky. It's July 30th. Alan was gracious and generous and offered us to come out and hunt with him out here this fall. So we come out here for the summer and do a little scouting, stand prep. He started some food plots and some mineral stations, and we have about 100 acres here of looks like some nice little rolling hilly terrain. So I'm actually excited to see how it rolls around. The season starts early enough around here in Kentucky that we have a good opportunity to develop buck, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I'm aiming for. So give us a quick rundown of what you've done, Alan. And
basically, is what we've done so far is I've got 3 cameras out with 3 different food spots in it. I've used corn, trace mineral, and then along with wild game, got the apple flavor that put over the corn. Been getting quite a few pictures of does, and as how this land's going to lay out, you got a ridge top clear up on top, which kind of a little hard to see completely in the camera right now, but a few bottoms and power lines, and just ready to bring Rush Outdoors out here to the berry farm. Let's give thanks to Doug Berry and Tammy Berry and their family for letting us come out on their farm and giving Rush Outdoors a chance to come here to Kentucky and get to see our culture and get to see the deer here. And let's try to get them a velvet buck.
you guys aren't afraid of a little spider, are you?
I just don't like them all over my face. No, spiders don't bother me. Looking right back there. She's still looking at it. Can you zoom it in?
Yep, I see him. The other one's right there. The 2 are looking at us right there, side by side. 3 of them side by side now. All those.
Years old.
Yeah.
This one's older than that. We're going to mount them, and I've got the mounting bracket there, but I haven't done it yet.
Well, so here's what you're seeing off the farm right here. These are the sheds that he's found.
Whereabouts did you find those?
I'm not really sure. The dog brings them in.
Oh, yeah. I need a dog like that. Yeah, that was great.
But these are some of the sheds that, as you heard Coach Berry, Doug Berry, that some of the dogs has brought in that's come off his farm. I mean, they're some good thick ones, pretty decent tine length. So, you know, this is what Rush Outdoors is going to be looking at. These are some of the quality of bucks that they're going to get to see this year. And like earlier back in the films, what Jeff was talking about is they're really wanting a velvet buck. So that's, you know, an antler like that with 2 of them with velvet, that's going to be pretty
We
awesome.
want to thank you for granting us access to your property.
No problem.
Yeah.
Very much problem.
I'm just really looking forward to it.
All right, good.
Steeper terrain here than what we're used to.
Yeah, it's it's pretty steep.
I've got a shower.
Well, the other half of the property owner is off to the left here. She don't want to get on camera here with us.
So
No, that's some pretty nice sheds though.
Yeah, I think overall when they're able to put their feet on the ground and get up in their stands, and this is going to be some of the stuff what they're looking at. And We're getting all the bait sites we've already seen, the does and so forth's already pounded. So there's does here, there's going to be bucks.
Good afternoon, or morning, or whatever the case may be. We've been out here all day, Chris and Alan and myself. We walked the property. It looks pretty promising. We've seen some deer. We've walked up and, as you'll see here, we've got right up on a bedded fawn. Yeah. And I got around to him. Didn't spook her or anything like that. And then we come across another ridge, and there was 4 deer in there. And Chris and Alan said they saw horns. I didn't see the horns. I was focused on 3 does off to the side, and off to the right there was another deer. And then we had the landowner himself. We filmed him. He had actually brought out some sheds that he's found off the property from the last few years, and they look pretty good. They walk in front of me, I'd be pretty hard not to pull the trigger. So I'm hoping to find one of those and solve it this year. So what we have here, we're going to set up a stand site at this location. And the reason we have chose this is we're basically a ridge top here, and it's kind of a flat right here. It drops off over here pretty good, and it's could drop off there, and then off to my left we found a black walnut tree that has a couple trails, minor trails is what I'll call them, that go to that tree. There's a couple white oaks right next to that also, so we're hoping early season, if when the white oaks start dropping out, that it will draw the deer in. And right where we're standing, as you can see, there's a really heavy trail that comes right up through this ridge. And we set the trail cameras right beside the camera. Then a video in with, it's shooting right down here. We put a little, Alan put a little buck jam down, swamp donkey down. Stand site's gonna be about 30 yards from here. We're just gonna stay off far enough that when they come up it, that we'll be out of their line of sight, and hopefully get a nice shot at a nice deer. So we're going to get to cleaning up, and I'll film a little bit of that for you and show you our setup. See how it is.
Leave them?
I leave that one for now.
Should be able to squeeze some.
Yeah, we can squeeze through there, no problem. Those 2 trees, one at each side of the screen, are the 2 that we're shooting for. Cameraman in one, shooter in the other, kind of facing each other. You can do it, put your back into it. Do you wear your Wonder Woman instead of Supergirl? Yeah, exactly.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Whitetail Obsession. It's August 5th here in southern Wisconsin. I just walked out to the stand I'm going to sit in. It's an observation spot, but we also shoot a lot of deer out of here. And I just got up in the tree, turned around and looked. There's a deer in the field already. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to get everything set up. Hopefully it'll be a good night. Looks like a doe to me. Yep, pretty sure that's a little buck. He's seen me get in the tree, so yeah, he don't seem to care. Excellent. Say that's a good sign already, so I'm gonna try and get everything set up here pretty quick. Hopefully we'll have more deer come out. Stick around. Month and a half till the season starts. see if there's anything out here we want to shoot. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Whitetail Obsession. Beginning of August. And I am out spotting deer. We got a good buck right here coming in right now. Pretty excited about this. I don't know if I'd shoot this deer or not, but it looks like he's probably 15 or 16 inches. Nice deer. I'm going to try and get him on camera before we do the introduction. Check this out. Got a crab claw on the one side. He'll come a lot closer. Nice deer there. down into the bottom and they're cutting across the corn behind me here, but we have another 25 minutes, 20 minutes. We'll be getting down out of here, but it was a good night. Early season scouting. Get yourself ready, guys. It's gonna be a good year. Alright, well it's August 25th and we're out here this evening and we're going to do a little scouting and kind of see what we can see. I know some of the guys in the staff have been seeing some bucks that are hard horn now, so we're just going to go out and scout the fields and maybe we'll have something to put on there tonight. I know there was some I chased out of the field driving back in here, so we're gonna walk from here and hopefully we'll have something we can show you. Stay tuned. Alright, well that's a real good buck right there. I don't know how good it's gonna turn out. I'm a long ways away right here. I want to guess 300 to 400 yards. I'm zoomed in as much as I can. He looks pretty decent. We'll try to slip in a little bit closer maybe and see if we can get a better idea what he is. He's got this little buck up in front of us here probably only 50, 60 yards in front of us here. He's still in velvet yet. A little shaver. He's pretty close. He's got a couple other deer with him out. They definitely see me though. So we're gonna try to sneak back, try to get a better view of this other buck that's back here. He just took off running. Well, that's probably gonna be about it for tonight. Starting to get a little bit dark now. You can see on the film we had a few deer come out tonight that were already out here, I guess, when we got out here. Thought we'd see a few more, but it's still early in the summer yet. It's kind of cool out tonight, so I thought they'd be out feeding fairly early.
Well, we're up here on my 5 acres behind my house. I've owned this property for probably 3 to 4 years now. This used to just be a little bit of a meadow, and I took it the first 2 to 3 years I had it planted in clover. It's starting to bud out quite a bit, so this year I took and I turned it over a couple times with the tractor, and I planted a good mix of Blistics, which is it's turnips. It has some other stuff in it. Basically it's a winter mix, and then I spruced it up. I added to it some beans and some winter wheat, and just something to, a lot of times the deer here at my property don't come in till late, so I wanted to give them something to come in early and check out. This was right here behind me was a pre-existing trail that the deer used quite a bit. I took and I opened it up really nice. I brought the tractor in here, the chainsaws. We made it almost like a logging road, and you can't see it, but we'll come up here and we'll give you another shot of it. All the brush that I took, I put on the top side, so it forced the deer to walk right down here. Previously, Karl panned up from the tree stand up here to the right. It's going to give me a nice 10 to 12 yard shot right here. They're going to come out to the food plot, and we'll show you some of the other stuff that I've done to try and get the deer in here during the daylight. So this is the trail that I had just previously told you guys about. We came in here, we cleaned everything out, we pushed any of the brush that we could back along the top side, and we made this whole section, I'd say probably 50 to 70 yards long, and the stuff on the lower end I pushed down on the bottom side, that way to hopefully just get them to funnel right through this area. So when we do that, we got them coming right here, and then I got my tree stand on the right hand side. That's going to give me about a nice 10 to 12 yard shot, and it's going to have them come right out to the food plot. So this is all just little things that you can do. It doesn't take heavy equipment. You can do it with a hand saw, you can do it with a chainsaw, and it's just going to give you a little bit better odds. We're still up here on the same food plot. This is an initial, when I got this property, I had a friend with a tractor and a front loader. He came in here. He dug this out. We're on the bottom side of the hillside, so you get good washout. The deer like to come in here and get a drink. It's nice and close to the food plot. I have a creek down here below me, but I find a lot of times they prefer this just for the fact of it's easy. It's just like you or me. They take the easiest route to get what they want. So I got a little camera right here behind it. I get pictures of deer quite often back here. Probably, like I was telling Karl earlier, it's every other day I get pictures up in this food plot, and we're going to show you what I'm trying to do to cut them off from seeing the house in just a minute. Well, as what you can see when Karl just panned around there, I took these trees, and there's 7 to 8 foot trees. I planted them here between the food plot and the house down here. A lot of the times I get these deer coming out just at dark or after dark, so I want to try and get this a little bit more secluded back here. I took the extra step too this year, and I tried planting some warm weather grasses. Unfortunately they didn't come in, but these trees are doing pretty good with the exception of this guy right here. Hopefully he comes back next year, but this is just all little things. These trees I think I got a good deal on them through Craigslist for $50 to $60, and I guess my perspective is if 1 out of the 6 trees that I got is dying, I still got a pretty good deal. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot. You never know what you're gonna get, but these are all just little things you can do to put in your favor. And Karl's going to show one last clip of the food plots I got down here below my house. You could probably even see a little bit of them with me in here, but that's just something that's a lot of later season. The deer really get in there and they pound it. Every year I get pictures of good bucks in there, but it's in those months of the end of November into December, and it's just, these are all little things. I mean, I only got 5 acres, but I get deer in here every day, so you can have a small piece of property and still do really good with it.
Hey everybody, Frank Zimbeck with Whitetail Obsession. Here to talk about the Covert site by Apex. It's a very nice site. It's got the dovetail setup on it. It's got multi-adjustments on it. There's 2 pins that come with it. It's a 19 thousandths or a 10 thousandths. You can interchange them. You got 3 different colors to choose from. You got green, red, or yellow. It's got a push button light set up on it. There's 3 different settings for that. And I can't wait to get it on my bow and give it a try. It's a good sight for the target shooter and for the hunter. So I'm excited about it. You can check them out at rushoutdoorswi.com. Check them out.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode of the Whitetail Obsession. We kind of threw quite a bit of stuff at you. A lot of different early season prep and food plot stuff.
Well, we're trying to get all this in so we can start our hunts the next episode. The boys were actually pretty successful down in Kentucky. They did shoot a doe on film. We'll show that to you guys next week. And we're going to go right into Wisconsin hunting. So.
Yeah. We're all looking forward to that, and you're actually going to Missouri for opening weekend.
Yeah. Me, Sean DeVitt, Mike Stadler, and Brian Kleppe are going to be heading down to Missouri. We'll see how that goes. It'll be our first time in Missouri, but we'll be there with B&B Outfitting. It's a company that's been in business for about 8 years. They have some pretty good deer down there, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll get a good cold front coming through.
Yeah, and then one thing for you guys just to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks, the deer are going to be transferring quite a bit into different food sources.
Yeah, we've already talked a little bit when we did the intro about how they're transitioning off the beans and corn here in southern Wisconsin. I know up in northern Wisconsin, I was up there near the Menominee area, and their corn looks like mid-October right now. I mean, it's drying out. They'll be able to harvest here within the next couple of weeks. So I'm sure they've already transitioned to different food sources up there. We're starting to see a lot of that here. We're seeing less and less deer in the fields when we go scouting, and our cameras are starting to show deer on acorns. White oaks obviously are number one. If you could find white oaks that are actually single trees dropping in your area, I would say that's a good bet for a stand, but check it out with your cameras. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks for watching.